Coffee time. So there is no logo right here. I'm a right-handed coffee drinker. I don't know if I've ever drank with my left hand. No, that's very awkward. I'm a right-handed coffee drinker. Look, that's how I drink my coffee every morning. And this is nice because when I drink, I'm seeing this nice Magnolia logo, which is a mug that we got from Chip and Joanna Games Place in Waco, Texas. Really cool mug. But on the outside, a little bit of extra money, and they could be branding on videos like this. But hey, it's a good mug. It's really wide. Let's take some time to slow clap for the UCF Knights. If you are not following sports in any capacity, you're just not the sports following kind of person, you got to at least turn on this team one time next year. They just won the conference championship against Memphis with what was their second string quarterback now is going to be their starting quarterback. Their starting quarterback got really seriously injured in the previous game. And they are the comeback kids, these teams. I mean, 25 straight wins. They have not lost in 2 years. Get that. I don't care where you stand on sports, particularly college football. It gets very divisive. This team in their conference has pulled it together, and they deserve the respect for whatever kind of classification you put them in. 25 straight wins in any division for whatever reason is a feat, and man, they're awesome. So I'm not a sports guy. There are people that are very into athletic events. I follow simple things like golf and Formula One racing. That's just, I don't know, it's just what I like to watch on TV. But I will turn on the TV for UCF Knights. The way that they have electrified the fan base, their student body, just people who don't normally watch any kind of sports, it's just amazing to watch a team get on the field and pull it together and win and win and win. And I'm proud of them, and I think that it's just inspiring to all of us about what it takes, the dedication to their craft that it takes to win. So next year, I'll tell you what, they're going to go to a bowl game and play. I assume they're going to a bowl game. Turn on the TV, watch that game, be energized. Even if they lose that game, I promise you, you will not walk away from watching that without feeling some sort of little inspiration creep up into your brain and make you motivated to want to get up tomorrow on Monday and just win and win and win. Today is renovation day. Yesterday was supposed to be renovation day. Today is renovation day. Today is renovation day and improving my house day because yesterday everything else about life sort of got in the way. And you know what I'm talking about. Particularly yesterday was my 6-year-old daughter's first parade. And this is an awesome experience. If you have a son or daughter, or kids or dogs or whatever, and you put them in parades or you go to parades. I was in parades, I think in high school and middle school, where it didn't require so much hand-holding. But when you have a 6-year-old daughter that's on a cheer squad and you want to put them in a local parade, or they decide to go into a local parade, this is an event. This is a full production. You are going to be chaperoning them. You're going to be walking behind them. You're going to be participating pretty full time. And it ate up yesterday's renovation day from 9 a.m. till about noon. Everybody was involved. Grandparents were present. The town was there. Saw many people that I know. And it took up a lot of day. My daughter loved it. They got judged on their float and their parade and their performance, and she loves that kind of stuff. That's the personality type that she is, and kudos. But I totally underestimated yesterday. So today's renovation day, and I'm going to be working on wainscoting today, improving this little alcove, formal living room, and it's fun. So I tried to do this yesterday in the afternoon. It was sprinkling a little bit, and the project of wainscoting is difficult. I have many tools for woodworking and kind of home improvement projects. I mean, I've assembled, built all these everything in this kitchen that you see, I hand built, right? And these are RTA cabinets, et cetera, et cetera. A simple project like putting wood battens on the wall to make wainscoting, Google that if you don't know what wainscoting is requires incredibly precise tools that I don't have. So I ended up with one of those typical 20 runs to Home Depot days. So every time I got just any kind of momentum, was ready to start working, I had basically had to go back to Home Depot, and it threw everything off. So today, I think I have everything I need, and I overbought this time. So I bought so much more stuff to put wainscoting on this wall. And it's funny that we do this. So this house it's beautiful by any standard. This is a beautiful house. Very proud of this house, but I'm still improving it. I'm putting pieces of wood that are going to be painted white. I need more coffee. Pieces of wood on a wall to make it look better, to make that wall look better. And it got me thinking, and me and my wife have this conversation all the time, when is improved enough? At what point in time do the renovations sort of stop? And I don't think they do. If you have an alternate philosophy on this, but hear me out. The renovations will always be there. Even when I'm gone. Even when this property is 700 years old. Just take some time to think about real estate for a second. This small piece of half acre that I live on will be here on Earth beyond hundreds of generations. And it's been here hundreds of generations before I bought this piece of land. I own this piece of land. It is my piece of property on the earth. No matter what I do, no matter how I improve it, it will always be here. So you start thinking about all of the generations, all of the people, all of the things that may have been and will be on this property for as long as the earth is alive. There's going to be improvements. At some point in time, someone's going to think that this beautiful kitchen is ugly. You might be thinking that right now. You might be thinking in these videos, gosh, I wish Travis would just change the setting, put a Christmas tree, I don't know, put a white wall in the back of him, because this white classic style kitchen is horrible. And you would want to improve this kitchen. And so I'm looking back on what we talked about yesterday about hunter and gatherers and you settling down. Even then, the need to improve property was there. You settle on the land, and then you need to build shelters. You need to till the land for crops. Maybe you need to put in some kind of aquifer. To think about all the things that people have improved land on. It's something that is just intrinsically built into the land. And so you have to start. Let's press pause for 1 second. I'm going to get some more coffee. All right, while we're waiting for that to brew, these are the last 3 K-Pods in our Keurig drawer, which means for you and for me more so, today is a go to the Publix grocery store, that's what we have here, and a refill your Keurig machine, which is awesome because these Javalia things I think are still on sale, and that means that I get more of them because my wife will buy more of them. I'm not sure what this one is. 1850s Folger company. It was all right, and then there's some other just generic brand public stuff that I just am not a fan of. So I mean, cross your fingers for me. Let's get more of this Javalia because I love it. It's so good. It's so good. It really is just so good. More coffee. I don't really need more coffee, but there's something about a 5 a.m. coffee video that requires that I, have coffee and drink it. And I love coffee, so I'm going to drink it. But back to value and intrinsic value of what's inside of built into the value of real estate. And I think as agents, let's get right to the meat and potatoes of this video. As agents, it's important that we understand that concept. Every property, doesn't matter what area you live in, what part of the world you live on, every property has the need for improvement. And as a listing agent and as a buyer's agent, it's important that we understand this in our business. It's important that you really ingrain it into your brain that buyers are always going to want to improve the property. It might not be when they buy it. It might be 10 years from that point in time, but they're always going to have a need, a desire inside them to improve the property. And sometimes sellers need to improve their property. So let's talk about that. Let's unpack that a little bit. If you've been in real estate, this is like a little bit of 101, real estate 101. But sometimes it's good to get to the basics, get back to the roots of things. When you got into real estate, I'm sure there's many reasons why you decided to be a part of this real estate industry. However, chances are you're a lot like I am, and you just love houses. You love what they are, what they stand for, who lives in them. I mean, there's something about it that I love. I mean, I do many things. I have many hats. I wear many hats. I have a couple of companies. But real estate, there's something about real estate that just makes me happy. It brings me joy. I look at houses, I look at land, I look at things, and I go, I just dream about that a lot. And so if you're like me, you do that. You go into houses with buyers and you go, wow, this has got so much potential. So sometimes as tenured agents, we get into automatic mode, like 2005 mode, where you press a button and the house sells. And that's fine because real estate can be super lucrative. But let's take some time today to just take a step back, get back into the basics, which is every house has a value. The market value is dictated by what people are going to pay for it, right? And this is something that we know. It just is what it is. It's either going to be dictated by what the construction company is going to put on a new construction and say, well, we mandate that this is what it costs. But really, all still comes down to what someone's willing to pay for it. And the value that gets built into there is important because all of the other properties that are adjacent to that their value is determined by what that property is worth to one person or some people. And that's comps. That's the basics of what we do here. So as agents, it's important for us to dream with the buyers. It's important for us to understand their needs, their wants, about a piece of property, and let them dream. Not overstep that. We don't want to over communicate with our buyers about the potential of a property, in our opinion, because it's subjective. What they want is not always. And I do this a lot because I love home improvement. I love building that kind of stuff up. And so I'll go into a house and I'm just like, man, this wall can come down. Personally, in my head, this wall could come down. We could redo this whole kitchen. We could change this room out. We could put an extension over here. That land down there could be a beautiful, pole barn or whatever. I do this in my head so much. And so oftentimes clients will ask me, hey, what are you thinking about this? And it's really hard for me to restrain, but it's important as a buyer's agent to make sure that you offer just enough suggestion to get their creative mind going about what this property can be. Because a lot of times there is room for improvement right off the bat. And dreaming about what a property can really engage someone who doesn't have that type of creative mind. So as a buyer's agent, we need to practice that. Next time you're in a house, spend some time just dreaming about what it could be. Just go through that exercise. It's important, I think. Even if you don't have buyers right now, just to get on your local MLS, get on Zillow, whatever. Go through some houses in areas that you like and figure out. Just go through the inside pictures and go, wow, it would be cool, but what if we did this? But what if I did this? Just ask yourself your question: what could it be? Just ask you, even if it's a gorgeous house, what else could it be? And that just helps you practice a little bit as an agent, get back into that mentality of really offering something more to your buyers. Now, as a listing agent, it's going to be important that you offer the right suggestions. And whereas as a buyer, you're dreaming about all the things you can do. As the listing agent, sometimes you're going to want to wean that back. We've all had those sellers that don't want to put the house on the market until X, Y, and Z are done. The carpet's been replaced, the roof's been redone, a whole renovation addition has been, added. Whatever that is, the improvement needs to be done. And at some point in time, you need to step in and help educate. And this is where offering advice, I think, is in line and not crossing the line. Offering that your opinion of what the value of the house is in the market based on its current condition is important. And that is something that we need to exercise as real estate agents, and you need to be proficient in that. If you are not savvy with what the value of property is in a particular area that you sell, you need to start exercising that. If you're going to be a good listing agent, if you're going to be a listing agent at all, you need to be pinpoint stinking accurate with estimating the value of property. And this is important because when you start getting these sellers that either want to improve or the seller that does not want to improve, that just has, the crusty fallen house in the neighborhood, and you just have to communicate to them, look, here is the value. Here are the things that we need to elevate in this house, or here are the things that we need to just not worry about and let the new buyers worry about. That is something that's critical to being a successful listing agent. Everybody can get one listing. Anybody can get that perfect listing and sell it, and easy button, boom, house sells. It's all done. The sellers are perfect. If you're going to be a continually good, excellent listing agent, you are going to need to exercise what improvements are. You're going to need to exercise when to stop improvements and when to improve the property more, based on current trends, based on the region, based on the market value, and getting down to the nitty-gritty of things and offering your sellers practical, good advice, prefacing it with, this is your opinion, not that it's fact, because it's still subjective, will be fundamental to the success of you being a listing agent. So there will always be a need to improve property. From when hunters and gatherers decided to start tilling and growing crops on land and settling down and improving land, that will always be there in real estate. It will never go away. That's my philosophy. I believe that. If I'm wrong about that, change my mind. But it's important that we understand the value of property and understand the basic concept that all property on this planet will need to be improved. We will always want to improve it. We'll always want to build value into the property. And the value of the property will increase only to a certain point after improvements. So at some point in time, the improvements are just too much, and those are just facts. So anyway, I'm gonna finish this second cup of coffee and think about what it's going to take to complete my renovations today, and that's going to be awesome. But I'll see you tomorrow. I have cats, and they're ridiculous this morning. So my wife found, this is a total side note. So my wife found these little mice that we bought from forever ago, But in all the renovation, they got hidden. They get buried under stuff. So my wife found these things 2 days ago, and I don't know if my cats have been happier. And they're only like a year and a half old, but they love these mice. They bat them around, and right now it's early in the morning, and they're just very happy to be playing with their mice.